Today, we're going to be learning to create one of the most functional yet easy to do effects for building motion graphics, and that effect is called trim paths. So to start things off here, I just went ahead and created a background layer with a solid fill color and locked it. And now we're going to go up to the text tool and click right in the center of the screen. Go ahead and type some text. Perfect. And now we're going to click the select tool and just make sure it's right in the center. Now if your screen goes black like this, it's okay. Just hit the caps lock key on your keyboard to fix it. And now make sure you select off of this layer by clicking anywhere outside the workspace. Make sure nothing is selected. And then we're going to go up back to the tools menu and select the rectangle tool. Now I've already set this up before, but if you want to change your settings for this rectangle, you can go up here and click fill and make sure you select the word fill and not the box next to it. And we're going to go ahead and select none and then go over to stroke and again click the word and not the box and make sure you select solid color and hit OK. And now this time we're going to actually select the box to be able to change our color, and I'm just going to go with a nice white to match this text. And now just go ahead, create your box. And now if you go down here to the layers panel, you'll see that you created a shape layer for this box that we just drew. Now if you look inside the shape layer, you'll see contents and transform. We're going to select contents and go over to add, select the arrow next to it, and then choose trim paths from the drop down menu. And you'll see it created another sublayer called trim paths inside your shape layer. So click the arrow next to it to expand it, and now you'll see we have start, end, and offset. All of these we can create keyframes for. So if you go over to the percentage next to start, you'll see it's set to 0.0. And if you start to click it, hold it, and then move it up, you can see that the outline and the border of this rectangle slowly starts to disappear, which is exactly the effect we're going for. So move this back down to 0, and now we're going to go ahead and click the timers next to start and end to create keyframes. And then we're going to move out about a second on the timeline. And then over here, we're going to click the little diamonds next to start and end to create more keyframes. So now we already have this rectangle outline fully filled at the end of our keyframes, which is what we want. But at the beginning, we want it to be empty. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go to start and drag it all the way to 100%, which makes it disappear. And now if you hit spacebar to preview, perfect. Easy, simple effect. Now, let's say that you don't like the direction that it goes. Right now it's going counterclockwise. If you'd prefer that it goes clockwise, that's an easy fix. So what you're going to want to do is just go ahead and flip these numbers at the end. So to bring your start to 100 and your end to 0. And you'll see as I do that, it actually is moving in the opposite direction. So if you go back to the beginning and hit play, you can see that now it moves the other direction. Awesome. So let's say you like the direction it's going, but you want it to start from a different place. Let's say you want it to start from the bottom left point instead of the top right. Perfectly fine. So go back over to the beginning and move over just a few frames so you can tell exactly where this line is going to be at. And now we're going to go over to offset. Now offset has two numbers. It's 0 by plus 0. We're going to want to change the second number. So click and hold and drag it forward until you get it exactly where you want it lined up on this point. And now when you hit play, now it starts exactly from the point that you want it to. Perfect. And then again, if you want to go ahead and reverse the direction that it's going, you just flip the points at your final keyframes. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is you can go ahead and delete that shape layer. And now we're going to use trim paths on actual text. So once you have your text solidified, you're going to want to go down to the text layer, right click it, and choose create, and then create shapes from text. And now once you do that, you'll see it created another layer on top of your text called the text you have typed and then outlines. And it also automatically hides your text layer. So if you come over to the eyeball, you can see that it's turned off and you can't see it. So if you want to keep this layer around, just in case you need to make changes to your text, you can do that, or you can delete it if you really don't need it. But we're going to go ahead and keep it just in case. So if you go over to the actual outlines layer and hit the drop down arrow to expand it, and then hit the drop down arrow again on contents, you can see that there's a separate layer for every single letter. What we want to do is go up to contents and then go back over just like before. To add, click the drop down arrow, choose trim paths, and you'll see again it adds the trim paths layer, which you can expand. And then you can click your timers for start and end. And then go over about a second, just like before. Move your start all the way to 100. And then make sure that you have a keyframe for each of these start and end for your 1 second on the timeline. And now you want to go back to the beginning. And if you hit play, you'll see that it gets real weird. Right? That's not what you want. So instead, what we're going to do is go back to the beginning on the timeline again. Select your text. Go up to the word fill. Select none. And then go up to stroke. You can put a stroke around it. Just like we did for the box. Perfect. And now if we go in and hit play. So nice. So this is a super cool effect. It's very easy to do. And it can be applied to most all shapes, anything with an outline. Now it can be done with fill too, but as you saw before, it creates some weird effects. So unless that's what you're going for, usually outline is exactly what you want to choose. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show you a couple more things you can do with trim paths that are really awesome. So the first one we're going to do is go up to select the pen tool. And just click any couple of points. Just click and drag so you have some smooth lines. Go anywhere you want to go. And then we're going to go back to the selection tool. And scroll up. I'm going to go ahead and collapse this outlines layer. And then on your shape layer for the line, I'm going to expand it on contents. I'm going to go ahead and do add again, and then trim paths. And then on trim paths, same procedure as before. Do your stopwatch for start and end. Go forward. Make sure you do your keyframes again. And then change your start to 100. And I see if you do this, this actually works the opposite direction. It goes backwards. So I want to go back to the end, the last keyframes. And you don't actually have to scroll through and hope you get it right. You can go back over here and choose these left and right arrows to jump to the next keyframe. So I'm going to jump to the end keyframe. And I'm going to switch these around. Start goes to 100, end goes to 0. And then we go back to the beginning and change both of them to 0. And then we play it. And now it comes from the left side. So the cool part about this is that you can use these lines for different creative effects and things for your motion graphics. So now let's move on to our last effect. So I'm going to go ahead, delete these other layers, everything except the background. And I'm going to go in here to the rectangle tool, hold it down, select the ellipse tool, and hold down shift to create a perfect circle. And this time I do want it to be filled, so I'm going to select the word fill and then solid color. And I'm going to fill it with white. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the stroke off. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the stroke off of it. Perfect. So now we're going to leave that there, and what we can do is take the pen tool again and just draw a straight line. And this time we're going to have no fill, solid color stroke. This size is fine. So we're going to go ahead, same procedure, expand it out, contents, add, trim paths, start and end. And now I need to go back to the beginning and create the start and end since I started it at the end. And we're going to go to start up to 100. And you'll see that's super slow and also moving in the wrong direction. So we're going to come back here, change both of these to 0, go back to the end, and this should play correctly. Perfect. So I'm actually going to make it go even faster. Yep, that's about what I want. So now I can go down here to your shape layer. You can do Command C or Control C on a PC, and then Command V to copy another one. And then go up to your rotation tool. You'll see it rotates weirdly, and that's because of this little guy right here, the anchor point. So we're actually going to move this anchor point up to the center of this line. Then go back up here to the Tools menu and choose the Rotation tool. And now we can rotate it just as we want it. Then go back up to your Selection tool. Just move it into place. And I'm going to go ahead and do that a few times. Alright, from here, you'll see that if I go back to the beginning, all of these lines that we've copied and pasted share the same trim paths as the original because they're copied from the original. So any effect that you do from one layer, if it's copied and pasted, will also be pasted to the other layers, which is super cool. And it's a nice sunshine effect. Now if you want to, you can actually go into each of these and change them. So let's say I click this one, expand it out, go to the contents, go to the trim paths, and see on the timeline here, you can see these keyframes for the trim paths. And then if you expand that even further, you can see the start and end keyframes perfectly, and you can go in and adjust them. So let's say I can actually probably delete these keyframes, and I'll take this one and drag it out just a little bit longer. And then you'll see when we play it, that one has a different speed. So even though they're copied from the original, you can change them all individually. Now that we learned something new, I have a question for you guys. Every single one of you are always so supportive and helpful in the comments of all of my videos, and I want to be able to give back to you. I want to grow our community into a massive family of creative minds working to help each other and learn together. You might even get to collaborate with me on some future projects. I have a whole list of new content coming just for you, so I created a Discord server, and I would love for you to go and join it to suggest video ideas, share fan art, and get helpful tips and answers about any questions you might have for me or other members of the community. I'll leave the link down below in the description, and if you join today, there just might be a special event happening on Sunday that you won't want to miss. So stay tuned, stay positive, and stay creative.